Hey, what's going on, folks? It has been a minute, and I could, give you a whole bunch of reasons why. But a lot of it's just I haven't had the creative energy for YouTube. Uh, I write full time. I write for Bearing Arms. I'm now writing for Town Hall. I've got my Substack link down in the description if you're interested in that. But it's taken a lot of, a lot of my juices there. But sometimes you can find something and you just got to find a new avenue. And every creative person should have a muse. And today my muse is Sunny Hostin. That's right, Sunny from The View. Because this is a woman who has made a career out of saying the most insane things humanly possible. Let's go into the latest.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
Well, that's a take. Holy shit, folks. Can you believe that? Literally comparing January 6th to the Holocaust. First, let's ignore the fact that the Holocaust was not American history. This did not happen here. We were not responsible for it. We ultimately ended the Holocaust by kicking Nazi ass. Okay? Let's get that out there real quick. But calling the Holocaust an atrocity, absolutely. Was World War II a dark period in American history? Oh, hell yeah. Right? Chattel slavery, was it an atrocity? Yes. Holy crap, yes. The American Civil War that ended chattel slavery was a very dark time in and of itself because of the scale of bloodshed. I have no problem referring to any of those things as atrocities. I'll throw in the Trail of Tears, where Cherokees were rounded up and taken out west against their will, despite the fact that there was no reason to do it. That was an atrocity. There are a lot of ways you can describe January 6th that I would be perfectly willing to accept. They range from a riot to a somewhat unauthorized self-guided tour of the Capitol. Within that range, there's a lot of room. I tend to lean a little bit more towards the Unguided Tour bit because the more that came out on January, the more we've seen from January 6th, the more obvious it is there's a lot more going on than what we were initially told. I don't think January 6th was a great moment in American history. No, it shouldn't have happened. Not like that. None of that should have happened. It would have been better for everybody if it hadn't happened. But how do you get off calling that an atrocity when it happened just months after the Black Lives Matter riots burned entire cities? Every major city in this country is, from what I can remember right now, sitting here, had some degree of riot over a police brutality case in Minneapolis. Minneapolis exploding kind of makes some sense to me. I'm not condoning it. It was still wrong, but I at least get where people were coming from. This was their police department that grossly overstepped, resulting in a man's death. Okay? No issue there. No complaints, no arguments, no nothing. I got that one. But everywhere else seemed to burn. In fact, as far as I'm aware, Portland might still be burning. Like, Jesus Christ, people. That was so much darker a time in American history. So much worse on every level. And that didn't make it. No. A guy dressed like he was cosplaying a member of the Loyal Order of the Water Buffaloes walks around the Capitol with a flag. Oh, and someone stole a podium. They picked up a podium and walked around with it. Oh my God, the humanity. Sunny should be embarrassed. She really should be embarrassed about that. I mean, honest to God, the big atrocity is that Sunny Hostin said that it was an atrocity, that January 6th was an atrocity, and everyone went, oh yeah, go Sunny. Oh my God. All right. But Sunny, this is not actually the low point of Sunny's week. It's not. Y'all, we really got to talk about Sunny because her husband is now accused of insurance fraud in a federal lawsuit. Right. Her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, is among nearly 200 people named in a federal lawsuit that accuses the New York City doctor of insurance fraud. This is from Entertainment Weekly. Okay. According to court documents obtained by Entertainment Weekly, the orthopedic surgeon, owner of his Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine practice, established in 2006, is individually accused in the December suit of having, quote, knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other health care services, including arthroscopic surgeries to covered persons through Hostin Orthopedics that he purportedly performed. And allegedly fraudulently billed insurance company American Transit through each of those entities in exchange for kickbacks and slash or other compensation which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. The 698-page complaint reads. Holy crap, folks. So let's understand something for a moment. Our American healthcare system is kind of screwed up. Okay. And health insurance doesn't do all the things people would like for it to do. I'm going to let you in on a secret, folks. It can't if people are robbing it. Okay. When someone has a procedure that they need and the insurance company won't pay for it, understand that's a likely, at least in part, a response to the fact that they've lost money somewhere else. Okay. That's fraud. That's where fraud comes in. Every person who defrauds an insurance company takes money out of the coffer. That's money that can't be used to get grandma cancer treatment. That's money that doesn't pay for the experimental Parkinson's drug, right? That's where all that money could come from. Now, I'm not saying insurance companies would automatically pay for these things if that vanished tomorrow. All right, let's be real. They're not, they're not saints here. But, they can't if that money's not there. And every business exists to make money. So if you cut in their profits, they're going to raise rates. They're going to deny services. I would argue that's more of an atrocity than a bunch of people running around the Capitol. Oh, but Tom, they were talking about they wanted to kill Mike Pence. Okay. Shit talking is now insurrection. I mean, guys, seriously, Sunny, you in particular, okay? If our country is that easy to overthrow, I don't ever want to hear you say, ever, that I shouldn't have an AR-15 because it wouldn't do any good defending our country against tyranny. If our government becomes tyrannical, you can't tell me that my AR-15 is useless if a dude in buffalo horns almost overthrew the entire country with a flag. I do not understand for the life of me how people watch this, hear this, and sit there and go, I think Sunny makes a really good point. Oh my God, it was like the worst day ever. Y'all, it's not even in my top 10. Okay? I've experienced much, much worse days. Much worse days. I remember 9/11. I remember the Challenger exploding. I remember Reagan being shot. I remember the start of the Gulf War. I remember the start of the war in Afghanistan. I remember the start of the Iraq War. I remember the day I lost both of my parents. I remember the different times various friends of mine passed. All of these are in my day, my world, much, much worse than January 6th. Not all of them would be rated that way on a national scale. I get that. I get that. But a lot of them are. Okay. A lot of them were a lot worse moments. And Sunny, if this is what you classify as an atrocity, just shut up, slink off into oblivion where you belong, because nobody's got time for your bullshit anymore. Okay? How about you try that? And with that, I'm going to wrap this one up because Jesus Christ, my blood pressure is fucking boiling. And I did not fix some whiskey to drink while I'm doing this to hopefully chill the fuck out. So until next time, you guys stay safe.